Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. It's so great to have all of your smiley faces. I see everybody. You didn't know I could see you through the screen, did you? It is a Saturday afternoon. Oh, actually a Friday afternoon. It feels like a Saturday because we've been doing so many of these shows. We've done about 550 episodes of the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series, which is incredible. It's absolutely incredible doing it day in and day out for all of you and having such a wonderful time in doing it. And thank you for joining us today. If this is the first time you're joining us, hey, well, welcome to our show. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that's very similar to the style of Dick Cavett and Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, in terms of the old school conversational freestyle warmth. That's what I love to do. And as you guys know, I work in television and radio professionally, and this is sort of an extension of my work in television and radio. And it's been so beautiful connecting with all of you, the viewers who call themselves the Lovities, who watch from literally all around the world. That's right. Many of you are commenting right now. It is so cool to have you here. While you're here, of course, give some love to our YouTube channel, which is Jim Master TV. Subscribe and click like and click that notification bell so that whether you never miss any of the content that we have, because we do great episodes and the guests come in from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, science and nature, comedy, sports, inspiration, health and wellness, and so much more. And we do surprise shows too. We take you on location and we take you to some very special places. We do surprise pop-up shows and lots of cool things. So thanks for joining us again. We love having you here. And we also appreciate all of the love that's happening on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we're bringing back truly the lost art of conversation. And we're doing it in style with all of you. Lots of comments coming in. I want to let you know we do have a very special guest joining us. She is an iconic television and film actress and singer, the one and only Linda Purl. Linda Purl is somebody that is so incredibly special to all of us because of the fact that not only she's been in so many incredible television shows and iconic films, but she's somebody that just, when you watch her, you see her perform, she's all in. She gives 110% in everything she does. And in addition to her work, her prolific work in television and in film, she's also a brilliant singer and stage performer as well. And we're going to take a look at some of that in just a second. We have some clips to show you and lots of cool things here on the show. But first, let's greet some of our viewers that are watching. We'll greet a few folks that are watching from live around the world. And then we'll have our very special guest, Linda Purl, joining us in just a second. Thanks for all these great comments, everybody. Sherry Larson is here from Kansas. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday afternoon and evening. You guys are watching from work. We appreciate that. You're in Kansas, USA. We also have Mary Bishop, who is watching. Mary is watching from Florida. Good to see you, Mary. Hello, Jim and all Lovities. Joan Sando is here as well. She says, hi, Jim, and welcome, Linda, to Lovity Hall. I told Linda all about the Lovity and what it's all about here on the show. And she said, bring it on. She loves it. We're going to have her on in just a second. Juanita is here, and Juanita says, hello, Jim and Lovity Squad. Happy weekend. Good to see you, Juanita. And we welcome everybody that's watching around the world. We have Linda for a brief period of time, so we want to get right into welcoming her to the show. Of course, you know her from so many incredible shows and movies and so much more. It all started with Crazy Mama back in the 70s, and she got an opportunity to work with Southern and, of course, the one and only Cloris Leachman in that incredible movie and so much more. You guys remember that one? That is a classic. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And then, of course, Happy Days came along. Happy Days, where she was Fonzie's girlfriend. And there, of course, is Ron Howard with her as well. And remember those years on Happy Days? Absolutely. And then came back as well. And yeah, there she is. And so much more, performance after performance. Here's another great one. Of course, you know her, Murder, She Wrote, as well, with the incomparable Angela Lansbury and the entire cast. Really fantastic. Look at all these great shots and all of this incredible performance. Yep. And also, even on the Love Boat. Everybody was on the Love Boat, I think. Matlock with the one and only Andy Griffith, definitely part of that as well. And just really a prolific actor. I mean, you can just check out, the IMDb and just see all the different things that she's done. But she's continuing to do a lot of great things. Just scrolling through some of the great photos here, and we have lots more to show you guys, but it is my pleasure to welcome her live and direct from New York City. She's all excited because she's getting ready for a fantastic show that is coming up at Birdland this Sunday. Of course, we do our shows live here on the Jim Master Show Live, but she is coming up this Sunday at Birdland with a very special show. We're very excited to talk about that as well. Let's welcome her live and direct from New York. Linda Purl, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Jim. Gosh, that was a tour down memory lane. Photos also made me feel very, very, very old.
Not at all. Not at all. So you're getting ready for this really exciting thing that's coming up. And that, of course, is the Birdland Concert. Tell us about that and what people can expect. It's going to be exciting.
It is. I think it'll be emotional too. It's my first time back to Birdland since, it all.
Couple of years.
So it's one of my most favorite rooms ever. And what Gianni, who owns and runs Birdland, and Jim Caruso have managed to do is just, oh no, I have to keep my glasses on. I can't see you. Sorry. It's remarkable. It almost went under, as all venues did, theaters, performance venues.
Yes.
And, how do you keep a place running when you have nothing going on for a year and a half?
Yeah.
So just the fact that they managed to make it work. Everybody made huge sacrifices, and they're back.
Yeah.
So that alone, and the musicians, the Ray Marchico be our drummer, and David Fink our bassist, just two guys that I've worked a lot with. I've done a couple of CDs with Ray and just one with David. We're working on another. And then Billy Stritt, my usual music director. This is, when you're looking at yourself, I see all these okay, you look great. Me, on the other hand, well, never mind.
You look fantastic. What are you talking about?
So Ted Firth, who did all the arrangements, was not available this time. However, I have the fantastic Billy Stritt. She'll be music director. And Billy's been a friend for a long time. We've done little things together, sort of one-off, but never a full show. So, and Billy was, come on. Besides doing us all a national service by having his Billy's Place live from his living room on Thursday night, all through the pandemic, he was music director for Tony Bennett for a number of years.
That's right.
Minnelli for many years. So, Billy is just a beautiful, gorgeous, one of the sweetest human beings.
We had him on the show last year. We had so much fun. Yeah.
It's amazing. My goodness, how many he is the walking encyclopedia.
Yes.
He's just, And
you guys have worked together how long now?
Well, no, Billy and I haven't worked. We've been friends for a long time, but this is our first time to do
this is the inaugural. Wow.
Yeah.
So that is very special.
Yeah. It'll be fun. And it's, the songs that we've pulled, some I've recorded before. But there's some fair amount of new material there too. And it's just celebrating getting back to life and how was it for you? And this is how it was for me. So we'll be swapping stories and about 15 songs at beautiful, beautiful Birdland Theater.
Yes. And they saved Birdland again. They had that campaign to save it, which is fantastic. So people just the troops really rallied, together to save that gem of a place.
Come on, are you kidding? The thought that Birdland might go down. That's a national treasure. What they hold historically. The legacy of Birdland is remarkable.
Well, speaking of legacy, what a perfect segue you gave me.
You're going to make me feel old again, but go ahead.
You have a swig of that, and that will. That is funny. Crazy Mama, of course, was one of the things that really kicked things off, and you had an opportunity. We're talking about like the 78, around that time period. You had an opportunity to work with the one and only Cloris Leachman, who, of course, we lost not that long ago. What was it like being a part of Crazy Mama and working with the likes of Cloris Leachman, Linda?
Well, first, I don't think there is a like Cloris Leachman. She was it. She was
She
the
was
one
the one
and
and
only,
only. Yeah.
never again, right? And to work with her, I was 19, I think, and Donnie Most, who was also in the film, we spoke about this after Cloris passed away, how lucky we were to have worked with her when we were babies, basically.
Yeah.
Because she was a dynamo. She was generous. She was maybe the one of the most creative persons I've ever known. I'm over here. Okay, all right, except for one.
Except for
one appearance a little bit later on. Yeah,
one to the left.
She was, you give her a thimble and she could do a sketch with it.
Yes.
You throw her a line, and Cloris taught me how to spit out a car window. Very useful information to have.
Yes, it is.
She was a team player. She was inspired and inspiring. She was so generous. So there were a few people I met early on. Cloris was one who you just go, oh, right, that's the trajectory. That's what I want. Those are the qualities I want to nurture for myself. She was
left an indelible impression on you. Yeah.
She did such a chameleon. I mean, she was a shapeshifter, right?
Yes.
Because you could go from being just the most down and out, homely individual to this sexy bombshell and everything in between.
Yeah.
So she was fearless as a performer, fearless. She got rid of her identity and would just present,
Would you say that, would you say you have fearless qualities as well? Has some of that, a good way to describe you as well in certain situations? Is when you see a project, you really, like I said in the introduction, you give 110%. You just morph right in. You were fully immersed in it.
That's very kind of you. Fearless, I don't know. Stupid, sure. I did
and comedic.
When I was in my 20s, for some reason, I felt a need to sort of push the envelope and test things. So I jumped out of a couple of airplanes. I studied bullfighting in Mexico, and I think it was I had some yen to try to prove or present to myself that I could count on myself when things got tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been so alone as when I jumped out of an airplane. There is no one you can call for help. You got to pull it yourself. So, and I mean, I'm so sorry for my dearly departed mother that I put her through those words. I mean, honestly, the hubris. But I did it, and my angels are watching over me. I survived, so that takes care of the I don't know, trying to prove something to myself.
Yeah.
Facing some fears down thing.
Well,
but are an interesting thing. They,
absolutely.
Now we were talking a little bit in the pre-show. I do get nervous, and before a show, any show, and I think it has to do with some chemical change. It doesn't matter if you're going out for one song or a 4-act play. It's the same deal. You still have to be ready. You have to, collect yourself, go back into your black hole and kind of pull up whatever you want to try to conjure or pull down, that night. And then step onto the stage or go. It doesn't happen so much with camera because it's just different.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it's just adrenaline, kind of building up, and then you use that as your fuel to move forward. But it is my least favorite part of the journey of performing.
The before, the anticipation, the
60 minutes before you go on stage.
Yeah.
Well, just
butterflies. But they've always said, as you know, that when you get those butterflies, it's actually a good thing because it means that you still are passionate about it, you still care about it, and you're still striving for excellence. And it's when those butterflies don't happen and that angst doesn't happen prior to performing, then it's giving you an indication that maybe this isn't I'm not enjoying this anymore. Maybe it's time to move on to other things. But the fact that you still get that is actually so positive and beautiful to embrace those butterflies, because it means, you love it still and you want to knock it out of the park, as you will, as always. And so it's an indication that you love it and you're still passionate about it, Linda.
Well, thank you. It's very kind to say, and I will keep that in mind at half hour. Jim says it's okay.
Jim Masters said it's okay. It'll be okay.
With the pandemic, it's been interesting. I go to a lot of theater. I had been living in New York for 5 years prior to the pandemic, and so I got to avail myself of the wonderful things that there are in this fantastic city. And so, but to suddenly be without any of that, right? I mean, none of us could go to any live performance. Thank heavens for the Zoom performances, even the live streams, but it's not the same. Right. And so I won't ever take that for granted.
Right. And I don't think any of us. What are some of the teachable moments, things that you learned about Linda through all of this? We've had this downtime to really reflect on our lives and to sort of, regroup and reboot in certain ways. As horrific as it's been, there's been a lot of opportunity to look at next chapter and look at the things we want to do and the things we've done thus far. And a lot of people are making these decisions. I want to do things that inspire others and empower and lift others up as well. What are some things that you learned about yourself during this 2-year period that we've all been through individually and collectively, Linda?
Well, I think you're right. I think there were certainly silver linings. And as compared to so many, I and my family had a very easy ride. We had a home we could retreat to that was not in the city. We all stayed healthy. We managed to, so all of that was great. And I have a place in Colorado, so having time there, just that reboot of nature.
Yeah.
And honestly, surrounded by nature, you could sort of pretend that nothing was going on because the trees looked the same.
Right.
The trees were the same. So of course it wasn't, but so I had that sanctuary to go to. But then also which maybe we'll get into later, but my life changed dramatically during COVID.
Yes, it did. In a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was, fabulous and serendipity and
absolutely.
And a shock. So
was it a shock when you got the opportunity to be on Happy Days? And was it Donnie? We had Donnie on the show a couple of weeks ago. Donnie Most and Marianne Ross has been on, and Anson Williams, all fabulous people. They was Donnie instrumental in you going on to Happy Days?
Totally. Yeah. Donnie we had been friends in New York. We met doing, some commercial or something. We were babies. We were 16 or 17 years old. And at some point, Donnie said he was moving to LA. And I thought, what? That sounds interesting. Anyway, so my girlfriend and I followed about a year later. We had to both turn 18 before we could, because you couldn't really work in LA in TV without being so anyway, we called Donnie and how did you do it? You have to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
Had to get an apartment and all this. So he helped us sort of like, Big Brother Donnie kind of walked us through all of that. And then I had an agent, but in any event, Donnie now had the Happy Days show and the series was picked up. And he alerted me that there was a role that he thought maybe I would be right for. So I auditioned, and I don't think we would have known about that had Donnie not alerted us and or me, my agent and whatnot. So yeah, very, very instrumental. And that our friendship has been so, enduring. We've toured a little bit together. Donnie's a wonderful singer. And,
oh yeah.
So we've done shows together, and he's guested on my show. I've guested on his. So that weave just continues, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
That is fantastic. What was it like taking on that role and being with that crew and that cast and Gary Marshall and Ron Howard and just everybody there, Marion Ross? It was kind of like a family, wasn't it?
Very much so. I did the show initially the first couple of years and then the last couple of years. So, but as different characters. I was Richie Cunningham's girlfriend the first time out. And then the Fonzie character took over. So they really didn't have room for supporting characters for Richie. So I was me booted out. And years later, this notification came through. They were looking for a Linda Purl type for Fonzie's fiance. So I sort of raised my hand and said, can I audition? And I did, and then came back to the show. So it was like old home week coming back. By the time I came back, both Anson and Donnie had left the show, and Ron, of course, was long gone to, have this illustrious career as a director. But Tom was there, and Marion was there, and Henry, and Gary Marshall, he's one of those people, those mentor types.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary just didn't know how to make a misstep as a producer. He was holistic. He took care of everyone and their extended families. He was the great level playing ground person.
Yeah.
He had us all do softball. I can't play softball to save my life, but we get out there in these silly little shorts. So was Henry. I mean, Henry'd be the first to play. He's a lousy athlete, good at almost everything else, but not softball. And we would do USO tours. And, you just, if anybody's going to have airs, you put on a pair of those silly shorts and you just,
yes,
the playing field is leveled. So
it's like Battle of the Network Stars. Remember that show? Yeah.
yeah.
That's it. So that was really cool. That was a great experience for you. And also you worked with the one and only Angela Lansbury, Dame Angela Lansbury. What was it like working with Angela? Class personified. Yes.
It's remarkable. She was another way shower. There are two things about Angela or moments with her. We were working one day and she had to leave the set for a few hours in the afternoon. She had a dentist appointment. Now she was finished. She'd finished everything she needed to film that day. I had a couple of scenes when they shoot one way and then they turn around on the other character. So they were turning around on me, and usually your fellow actor will stand beside the camera and then do the scene with you.
Right.
So that was all that Angela had not been able to complete that day. Anyway, she went and then she came back and she'd had a root canal.
Yeah.
She was in pain. Half her face was paralyzed, but she came back to do the off camera. It was like, are you out of your mind? Go home, take a nap. I can do this with the script supervisor. I can do it with, I don't need you. Anyway, she was such a pro, and nothing came before the work, even that. So the other thing was that the crew would just let the guests know about her generosity of spirit. The sound man on that show was also a writer, and Angela had heard about this. And so she saw to it that he got to write a script, and one of his scripts was produced. I mean, why not? He listens to dialogue all day long. It was good. So anybody in her crew that wanted to step up to the next notch, if an assistant director wanted to direct, he had the chance. If a costume assistant wanted to be a designer, she got the chance, or he got the chance, etc. So she just moved people's lives forward. I mean, I'm sure they had to earn the right to do that, you bet. But she saw their talent and she just saw to it. The other thing she would do, she had lots of talented friends who were older than she, who were just at that point where health insurance wasn't necessarily, easy. They were just a little bit shy to meet their minimum for the union or whatever it was for the year. And she would just see to it that they would be able to come on the show and do a wonderful job as guest stars. And, oh, by the way, get their insurance for the year. So, I mean, that's how to be, in all aspects of life. She was a consummate professional and gorgeously generous.
Absolutely. Love Boat. You got a chance to be on the Love Boat. I mean, everybody, that was like, it's like being on SNL. What, tell us about that, the opportunity to be on Love Boat.
Well, there was sort of a point of pride. It's like, do I really want to do the Love Boat? I looked down the nose at it. Yeah. However, this one was going through the Panama Canal, and yes, a friend. So a girlfriend came with me, and I did it, and it was so much fun. It was a terrific cast. It was a thrill of a lifetime to be on that ship and to go through the Panama Canal. And who did we have? We had Lana Turner and Stuart Granger.
Yes.
And Baxter.
And Baxter. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Over dinner was just gobsmacking. You just sit there and just get them to start talking, and oh boy.
Incredible stuff, huh?
It was a blast. Yeah.
Also Matlock is another claim to fame too, and working with Andy Griffith and everybody there. Tell us about that, being a part of the Matlock series.
I played Andy's daughter, and it was, going in was odd because of my friendship with Ron Howard.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, wait a minute, I'm now the daughter of the son of the, anyway.
Kind of like he would be your brother or something, right?
Yeah. And it was, I didn't know what to expect before I met Andy. And a couple of days before we started shooting, the producer organized a lunch for us. So I met him, and he was so charming. He had a scary, I would say, magnetic charm. He was not at all what I expected. He was whip smart. I mean, a white intellect, hot white intellect. So I don't know why I just didn't, that's not what the side of his persona that he presented particularly. He was
expected
a terrific
more of maybe
shucks, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I, like many comics, he was not a simple person. He was complicated.
Yeah. And
my sadness with Andy is that none of us got to see the other half of what he was capable of. I mean, he did in Facing a Crowd, but his Willie Loman, I think, would have been mind blowing. His King Lear, because he knew how to access. I think just part of what he carried, were some pretty dark things also.
Yeah.
And he chose not to avail his art to those qualities that he had. But so it was a big learning experience to work to be his daughter on the show.
Absolutely. A lot of movies too. We just really sprinkled in a few of them. Little Ladies of the Night, working with Lou Gossett Jr. and David Soul. Tell us about that project.
Oh, that was fun. We Lou and David. Yeah, those early days, that was Aaron Spelling, and Aaron was so good to me. He hired me for a bunch of things over many years.
He was the guy, at that time.
Very, very grateful to him. In fact, the last thing I did for him was a series, and we shot it up in Vancouver, and I got pregnant during the show. And, for work for Mr. Spelling, you have to stick to being a size 2. Well, as the pregnancy continued, I was about as far away from a size 2 as a girl can get. And he was very supportive and, just, it was it was a happy time.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I did, that movie of the week. And for a couple of decades, it was the highest rated movie of the week ever. When that could happen. I mean, that could happen when there were only 3 networks. That
Right.
never happened. Those days are long, long, long gone.
Yeah. Now there's so
But
much choice out there. Exactly.
yes.
Body Language too, another one.
Oh, who was in that? Heather and,
Yeah.
and what's his name? He's gone now. I've forgotten his name. Eddie Albert Jr. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather was great. I just adored her. She was, fun girl, hardworking.
The
Yeah.
Perfect Tenant.
Perfect Tenant. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, when you do so many, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. That one too. Yeah, yeah. When you're prolific, got an opportunity to
But honestly, I did a little over 45 movies of the week, and I
yes, you
loved
did.
doing them, but they were, I mean, they were pretty trashy. Honestly, they were pretty darn trashy. They were soap opera, melodramatic. I
They
mean,
were, yeah. They
I'm
had that.
I'm a journeyman performer. I never had that one beautiful, elegant hit. That's just isn't how things have gone. But maybe this was better for me, because then I just have, touch wood, been able to continue working through all the decades, and there are many decades now.
Hey, it's
Oh,
Hawaii Five-0 even in the mix too.
stop it now. Just stop it. I don't know
Look
where
at
you
you.
get these pictures.
What
Oh,
we
man.
we we did our digging, I tell you.
You did.
What would the Linda Purl of today say to the Linda Purl that's in that photo?
Change your hairdo. Oh, my goodness. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Change your hair too.
Yeah, pretty much that's that. Yeah,
And other life
that's
lessons as
ridiculous.
well. And
I like the T-shirt, but yeah. Oh
that
my
is
goodness.
funny.
I
And
look like my son does now.
of
Yeah.
course, over the years, you were married to the one and only Desi Arnaz Jr. and actually have performed with him as well. After, tell us about that in terms of what was it like, during that time, being the daughter-in-law of the one and only Lucille Ball.
It was just life. I think maybe growing up in Japan, I Love Lucy was not known there. So,
Right.
I mean, I was aware, but I didn't grow up with them. And and Des has remained a lifelong friend. We performed, actually, one of the last times we performed together was in New York. He came in and was wonderful. I mean, he's an extraordinary percussionist, extraordinary. He and his wife
Yes.
Amy were in, and then they recorded on the CD. So just
And
a wonderful, lifelong. Isn't that odd? Just a
yeah,
lifelong friendship. Yeah.
absolutely. We actually have a clip of that we want to show everybody from that
Oh,
performance, which is really cool because in
okay.
addition to being an extraordinary actor, Linda is also a brilliant singer and entertainer as well. Here's a little bit of that clip with Linda and Desi Arnaz Jr.
Another one? Oh boy.
That was fun.
Fantastic. A
Well, I
little,
saw Desi did a thing with Lucy in town at the 92nd Street Y. This was, maybe 6 years ago. I'm not sure. It was an incredible night. Lucy had pulled from the archives their father's arrangements from the Desi Arnaz Orchestra. And they put it up, they got a band together, and Des did the percussion. And oh my goodness, they just brought Lucy, just sang and danced,
yeah.
everything up a storm. Valerie Pettiford was there. And okay, honey, here goes Patrick. He'll be
Yeah.
it was a phenomenal show.
Incredible.
Do it again and again and again, because it was great.
Absolutely. And we just saw a little bit of the surprise guest there, Patrick Duffy, of
Yeah.
course. And that you mentioned a little bit, Linda, is something that you guys have known each other for a long time. And there was this period where you were in Young Pioneers and he was going to be cast in Young Pioneers, but then the script for Dallas came along, right? And the Dallas script offered more episodes and more opportunity for him. So decided to go with Dallas, but Young Pioneers was going to be the thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even know that until Patrick told me this a year or so ago. Yeah, he'd been offered the role of my husband, but that was for 1 or 2 episodes. Dallas was for 5, and so he took this sort of unknown quality. Dallas, oh my gosh! And 16 years later, Young Pioneers, we did. I don't know. We were sort of on and off for a couple of years. I loved that show, and I'm so sad that show didn't somehow just never found its real legs. But anyway, yeah. So we didn't even meet then. In 1980, we did a reading together of a play, but it's like, hi, how are you? And then you're just stuck in your thing. So we didn't, deal with each other. And then a couple of times parties or whatever. And then about 21 years ago, I was in London. My son was playing soccer in Europe. So I would get over there as often as I could. And Richard Thomas was doing a play in the West End. So of course I went. And Patrick was in it. It was like, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, see you, whatever. And then that was it. I mean, we didn't see each other for all that while. And the November, I want to say, before the pandemic hit, we bumped into each other at a thing. I was living in New York, as I say, and I said, oh, I'm going to go see Richard in a play in New York. I'm always going to see Richard Thomas in plays because he's always working in the theater.
Yes, he is.
So Patrick said, oh, here's my email. Please give it to Richard. We've lost touch. So now the 3 of us were texting for a bit. And I said, I was living in New York. Patrick's living in Oregon. Everybody's happy. It's perfect. But we did, happy Christmas, sort of happy New Year, just chummy. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, we texted and then we said, well, if you heard about this boom, something or other. So we did a Zoom and it was like, oh, we figured
it out. Boom, Zoom, right.
And somehow we fell in short order into this rhythm of doing Zooms for 2 to 3 hours a night.
Wow.
And, we sort of talk, oh, do you remember this? Or were you there? And those kinds of, again, I've got the sticky up hair. Oh, well, never mind. And
windswept. Looks great.
Thank you. New haircut yesterday. I'm still getting used to it.
Looking awesome. The viewers are saying the same thing. You look like $1 million.
Anthony Soddu, downtown. Very good. Soddu. There. That's
very nice.
So
bravo, Anthony.
Yeah. So then the conversation would just drop down to sort of the next level. It's like, oh gosh. And then he'd send a poem that he wrote. It was like, this is there's somebody very deep here, and spiritual and funny and smart and engaging. Yes. And so at some point there he is. Oh, wait, that's my interview. Sorry, let me turn that off. That's my alarm.
What a cool sounding alarm.
So we, at some point we were signing off, to see each other the next day on Zoom. And Patrick signed up and he said, well, love you. End meeting. It's like, what? What's that?
Yeah.
So we got on the horn, the Zoom the next day, and it was like, did you really say what I think you said? And we'd been saying, when this darn thing ends, and if we're ever in LA at the same time, let's have a drink. But after that, about a month later, Patrick said, this is silly. I need to come see you. And
yeah,
it was terrifying because what if it goes horribly awry?
Exactly.
But we thought, you know what, we're grown-ups. We have this lovely friendship now that was honestly pretty well established because we'd had however many hours that is, 3, 6, like, I don't know, my math is horrible, but many, many hours of talking. And we thought, okay, well, if it goes badly, never mind. We've got a great friendship. So here he comes driving up my driveway in his little Prius all the way from Oregon. And that was it. That was it. That was it. We're together.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
It just wouldn't have happened, I don't think, without the pandemic, because we were both sort of unglued from the normal rhythms of our lives at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so really, thank you, COVID, because or the pandemic, because it sort of made it possible. We never would have found the time to Zoom for 2 to 3 hours a night for 3 months. It just wouldn't have happened.
Right. Right. Exactly.
We would have had a drink and it was, that's nice, have a nice life kind of thing. But I don't know. The universe had other plans.
Isn't that beautiful how that happens sometimes? I mean, you've known each other all these years, and there was that close call with Young Pioneers, and then, all these years later with this pandemic and everything, this happens at a beautiful time in both of your lives.
Yeah.
That's something you couldn't even, with all the scripts that you've read and acted upon, as has Patrick, that's one that you probably wouldn't have ever been able to think of writing, huh?
You wouldn't believe it if you wrote it. It's like, it's just too saccharine, but it happened. So
it happens. And you're actually working together on this, right?
We did do that.
Tell us about this.
Well,
this was on Lifetime?
Yeah, it was Lifetime. Yeah, Lifetime. And we shot it up in Vancouver. It's aired already. And this was last spring. I want to say April. And so Vancouver was on lockdown. So you get off the plane, they stick a thingy up, welcome to Canada. They stick a thing up your nose and send you 2 weeks. We were in lockdown. We weren't allowed to step a toe out of the room for 2 weeks. And we had so much fun. It's like, okay, this could be really, really bad. I mean, but we made stupid little vignette thingies and, we had a bicycle in the room, and we set up a walking pattern. It was a 2-bedroom little flat. So we sort of set up a walking pattern, and Patrick is a wonderful painter. So he did some wonderful paintings, and I would feed birdies on the balcony. We could get out on the balcony. We named one was Elmer. And Elmer was our wake up call, 6:30 in the morning. Wah, wah, he'd be out there, and he came by for tea time, and it was extraordinary. And one time he jumped down onto the not just on the on the railing there. He came down onto the balcony, and he was sort of hopping around and then couldn't get out. So Patrick had to embrace him. Hi, Elmer. He's a big bird. And then set him free over the balcony. And to see this bird take flight from Patrick's arms was just like, oh. And then that terrible day came when we were leaving, and I was in tears. Elmer came, and I'd played music for Elmer. He liked classical music, particularly Chopin. I mean, this is what happens to your brain. Maybe it's just 2 weeks and we were out of our minds. But anyway, so we had that. And now we are, and we sort of look at each other and think, did we really agree to do this? We are leaving in January to go to England for 6 months to do
a version of this, right?
Well, it's funny. No, not that. We were going to call that 10 Angry Men and 2 Really
10 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're correct. What are you? You must have worked for the CIA or something.
I work in television, radio, journalism and all.
Okay. I'm really impressed, Jim.
And I've always admired you and Patrick's work. Very much so.
Thank you. Yeah, we were going to do that, but then the rights, the estate for 12 Angry Men were not happy about having it had to be all women or all men, and that wasn't going to be it. So they changed plans, and they were going to be doing a play version of Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And 6 months, we're going to be in Belfast. In February, we're going to be in, I don't know, Bath and Bristol, and it's sort of ziggy-zaggy, and we have to drive ourselves from it's basically a theater a week for 6 months. So we're going to know England pretty darn well after that. And thank you, GPS. That's the only way we're going to find our way from. I mean, there are towns that with no vowels in them. Cloyd, Clyde,
Right.
CLYD. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. So yeah, we signed up to do this play together, and we sort of thought, if not now, when? We're at that
When,
stage of our
right,
lives.
right.
So, I mean, I've never had the opportunity to do that in England. Are you kidding?
Mm,
And it's a fun sort of a lickety-split. It's not actually based on the film or the movie that we all know. It's based on a play that was a French novel from the 50s. So it's a potboiler sort of detective murder mystery / farce. And I think it's a cast of 7, so we'll be a jolly band of a bunch of actors, silly actors.
wow.
We'll be doing our official fish and chips taste testing across England.
Yes.
And
That's gonna
we'll
be cool. When do you leave? After the holidays?
yeah.
Wow. And
Come over
for
and see us. We'll be lonely.
well, you can always stop by the Jim Master Show if you're lonely and say hello and keep us
Okay,
posted and
thank you.
everything. So that's exciting. So you'll be working together continually, and then this wonderful relationship, which is really such a beautiful thing. I know, everybody's so happy for you, and it's come at just a wonderful time in your lives, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Yeah, really amazing. And people are so, I mean, we don't do a lot of social media or anything, but there's some out there, and folks are so sweet. They just say the cutest things, and it's so dear. It's just heartwarming, and we're both grateful for that. And yeah,
Some of
yeah,
the
I think that's one of the big surprises about this moment in life is that there's so many chapters. Looking at it through the lens of a child or a 20, even 30-year-old, you think, yeah, so you're a child, and then you have your adult life, and then for the last 5 minutes you're old, and then you die, and it's couldn't be further from the truth.
right. Yeah. When you look at all of this work that you've done and continue to do, are there things that you still want to do that you haven't touched upon, areas within the arts that still tickle your fancy that you'd either like to do more of or take a stab at for the first time? I mean, because you wear so many hats, you've done so many different things in the business, Linda.
Oh, thank you. Well, theater certainly is my first love. It was funny. There were 2 other, Gregory Harrison and Joe Spano, both buddies, and we've all worked sort of as in various pairings together, but never the 3 of us. And we've all worked a fair amount at this one theater in Southern California. And so the 3 of us were together, and we thought, oh, let's do a show together. I know we can do Betrayal. So we all ordered it from Samuel French, and we had a beautiful evening planned. We were going to read the play with a director that we all love and adore, and then we're going to have a knees up dinner afterwards. Well, we started to read the first act, and we realized we had missed it by about 20 years. We were all too old to do the roles.
Wow.
Like, no, so we didn't even finish reading the play. It's like, let's just go on to dinner.
Right. Yeah.
Those, sure. I would love to have played. Oh gosh, Joan of Arc. And
Mm.
Walking behind again.
okay.
There he is.
And
The man
yeah,
from Atlantis.
there are a bunch of roles I missed, but grateful that there's some chestnut roles I got to do. Hedda Gabler and the Tennessee Williams, the Last
Yeah.
Mystery, and A Streetcar Named Desire, Blanche. So those are very informing to your spirit when you get to get your mouth around those great writers. They create a space and an order and possibilities in your psyche, and they're
Yeah.
great journeys to be able to go on.
Obviously there's inspirations early in your life. You grew up in Connecticut and in Greenwich, so New York was always sort of
Well,
the
I didn't grow up there.
not there
Okay,
there.
that's the first thing you did. Not even wrong, but
You've
you're
driven
absolutely
through
right. I
there.
was born in Greenwich, but
Born
I
in
grew up in
Greenwich, yeah.
Japan. My dad was in business in Tokyo, so that was I grew
So was there inspirations of the arts in the family, other performers in the family? What were some of those early inspirations for
You bet.
you?
Mother had a ballerina, and then my dad grew up on the road. His mother was an actress on the road,
Right.
and so, and then it was the family glue. Both my parents just loved the arts. I'm just gonna look at the time here. How are we doing?
Yeah.
And it's 4:41. Jim, I'm gonna have to go in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Does Patrick want to pop on?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Honey, you want to come by? Yeah.
I can't squat.
Okay. Here we go.
Patrick, welcome.
Who's
It's an
this
honor to
man
have you.
thing, my dear? Okay.
How are you? And
well.
congratulations on all that is happening in your lives, not only what you're working on together on projects, but just this wonderful relationship that has been forged here. And we were talking about how it was a little bit of a close call when Young Pioneers was being cast because you were looked at as being a part of that project, but then Dallas came along as an option. And look, all these years later, huh?
I know. And you take a brief moment and you realize maybe it wouldn't have happened then, and it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
Because it happened now, and it's so perfect. I can't imagine it being better. So I'm glad I waited. I'm glad she waited. But it's a perfect time in both our lives. Well, I'll speak for myself. It's a perfect time in my life.
My life too.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was fishing. It's okay.
Real quick, what was it like being a part of such an iconic character and series as Dallas for you, Patrick?
Well, as you can tell from that picture, I was gifted with a helmet that had hair. Again, it was a fortuitous accident that I took this show. The only reason I took Dallas instead of Young Pioneers was because Dallas was 5 episodes and the Young Pioneers was 1. And I figured if it only runs 5, at least I've got 5 in the can.
Yeah.
And I took it, and it ended up being 16 years.
And of course, Man from Atlantis.
Man from Atlantis.
Another
that I went from a carpenter to an underwater hero.
Yeah.
Right. And that led directly to Dallas, and Dallas led directly to Step, and then Step led me directly to the best thing that ever happened to me.
Absolutely. And Linda mentioned you guys are headed to Europe after the holidays to work on some projects, and that's exciting, huh?
Oh yeah, it's called the Freezing Tour.
Yeah. Oops.
Went the wrong way. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Freezing Tour. We're in the UK at the coldest possible time on the planet, but we're inside. We're working together.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, we really enjoy being together all the time. So before work, during work, and after work, we're just who we are, a couple, and we are a couple. I guess that's it. We're a couple.
I guess so.
You really are. What before we go, what are some of the additional blessings and joys in your lives, Patrick and Linda, that inspire you to continue to create and entertain and be so prolific in the arts as the two of you are?
Well, I'm going to start and then get off so you can end up with her. But I heard your interview with her, and I agree with you 100%, Jim. I learned so much watching her work the 2 times that I've seen her work. One, we did a little movie together, which was a small thing, but it gave me an idea of exactly who she was. But when I saw her on stage doing Tenderly as Rosemary Clooney, I saw what you so perfectly iterated, which is the depth of her commitment every second that she's on stage. So I'm thrilled to work with her. I'm a little scared.
Oh, stop.
No, I am. I'm a little scared because I'm a facile journeyman performer, but I've tasked her with saying, kick me in the butt if I get lazy, which I have a tendency to do. So, and she never does. She never does. Her commitment is 100%. So I'm thrilled, a little nervous, but it's going to be the best 6 months.
An adventure.
And I will let you sign off with this beautiful woman.
Patrick, it was an honor and a pleasure. Absolutely an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for all you've done to entertain us as well. You've always been a class act, and I hope we meet in person at some point. Really a pleasure.
I'm sure we will. And you've got the best way to sign off with this lady right here.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you to Patrick and Linda. This was absolutely spectacular.
Thank you, Jane, so much.
You really are amazing.
Wonderful show. I love the caption, by the way, the doodlings and the cartoon stuff that you have at the beginning.
Oh, the intro?
Really
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Friend of mine is a illustrator. He illustrates. He was just working on the cover for Aerosmith, and he does all the Betty Boop.
Wow.
And his daughter, he said, we want to bring it to life, because he does the illustrations, the design. Now we need to animate it for the Open. So he says, my daughter is actually doing animation for the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. So I'll
Oh,
bring her
cool.
in, and
Oh
she
my
brought it
God.
to life, and
Sure
cool
did.
stuff. So Linda, you're the best. Really, a
Thank you,
true
Jim.
honor.
Really kind of you. Thanks for reaching out. It was fun. Really fun.
My pleasure. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you
And
so much.
let's stay connected. Hopefully we
So,
will, we're in the area here, so hopefully we'll get a chance to break bread. But
I look forward to it.
and Birdland, again, tickets are still
Oh,
available to
yeah,
check
thank
that
you.
out. And
Sunday, November 7th at 7 p.m. So, yeah.
that's 2 days from
Yeah.
now. Yes, going to
Yeah.
be. Yeah. And anything about it you want to say as far as what people can expect?
No, I think it'll be a good time. I know I just have kick-ass musicians. It's a beautiful room. We all needed to be supporting live theater. So if you don't come to that, go to see something else live that night. I hope you do.
Linda, you're the best. You be well. You take care, my friend. Okay. Thanks for gracing our presence on the show today.
Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Linda Purl on the Jim Master Show live, also with Patrick Duffy, and we appreciated her joining us and Patrick joining us as well. You had an opportunity to hear some great music. We actually have a little treat for you. We have some more music we want to share right here and right now with Linda. You're going to enjoy this. This is The Way You Look Tonight, and here we go.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you, just the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheek so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my feelings apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you, just the way you look tonight. Your nose touches my foolish heart. Never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you, it's the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
A little extra bonus treat for everybody watching live on the Jim Masters Show live. Many of you, again, you know her for those iconic roles on television and in film, but she is a brilliant stage actress as well. And it was such a blessing to have her here. She's got a very tight schedule because she's getting ready for Birdland. It was amazing. She said she was a little nervous. She gets a little nervous before performing, but hey, once she's on stage, she just knocks it out of the park. She really is a class act. And I know we banty around that word iconic, but when you think about the amount of hours of television and film that she's been a part of, iconic really is the word. And she was very funny. She's got a comedic side to her too. She's very funny as far as she's like, my God, where did you come up with all of this information and all this research and all these photos? And it was like going down memory lane. And I told her, I work in television, radio, and I did journalism, reporting, and all stuff. So we do our research here at the Jim Masters Show live, and just to see some of the iconic roles that she's been a part of, some of which you guys probably remember, and some of you are like, oh, I forgot that she was in that, and she was in that as well. We talked about the early stages back in the 70s with Crazy Mama, that film with the one and only, said wonderful story she shared about Cloris Leachman as well, and just all of these iconic roles. There she is with Henry Winkler. It's Fonzie. Talked about what it was like working on that set. Ron Howard, of course. This is from Happy Days, cover of TV Guide. If you didn't see the episodes where Don Most, who played Ralph Malph, Marion Ross, who was Mrs. Cunningham, and Anson Williams, who was Potsy, we have episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series where all of them have been on our show as special guests of our series. Marion Ross, Anson Williams, and the one and only Donnie Most. And she and Donnie have been friends for years, friends with everybody, of course, Henry all. But it was mentioned Donnie was instrumental in getting her to be a part of that series of Happy Days. And yes, born in Greenwich, Connecticut, but raised in Japan. I remember the Greenwich, Connecticut part. Yeah, but raised in Japan, and what an epic experience that is, Linda Purl, of course, in all of these roles, and then she came back to Happy Days, which was really something special, and yeah, really incredible. And that story about the young pioneers, again, just one of the many things she's been a part of, where Patrick Duffy was initially going to be cast in that with Linda, but he had that opportunity to go with the other script and the other production, and he went with the other production, I believe, which was Dallas, and the rest was history. And of course, he talked a little bit about his time on Dallas, of course, with everybody, Linda Gray and Barbara Bel Geddes and Larry Hagman, and you name it. Of course, Larry Hagman also from I Dream of Jeannie. And there is Patrick as well. And they have forged this beautiful, loving relationship. There's been a lot of things that have resulted from the pandemic. This show, the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, is one of them. But their incredible relationship, they've known each other for years. And this was forged out of the relationship that was developed due to the pandemic, from spending hours online, like on Zoom and things of that nature, where they were chatting, which is so beautiful, isn't it? When that happens, we talk about a lot here on the show, moments that inspire us. What an inspiring thing that Patrick Duffy and Linda Purl are now together, and at this stage in their lives as well. So beautiful. They did work. If you didn't see it, the Doomsday Mom, that was on Lifetime. I know you guys like Lifetime, you like Hallmark. That was on Lifetime. They are headed to Europe to work on that cool project together, which is going to be really exciting. We'll keep you posted on that. Again, she's on Birdland. She's going to be at Birdland on stage this coming Sunday. So you can check the internet and Birdland to get tickets. Again, that's for those who are watching live right now. If you're watching this episode with my special guest, Linda Purl, and also Patrick Duffy joining us, which we really appreciated, definitely check out Birdland online to get tickets to see her perform. And we mentioned she was on Matlock. Some interesting stories about, of course, Andy Griffith as well, and just all the different movies, a lot of movies of the week, and so much more. Performing with Desi Arnaz Jr., who, of course, at one time they were married, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz Jr., and the time on Love Boat, and all of these incredible. This was Murder, She Wrote. And she was right, Dame Angela Lansbury, one of the classiest ladies in the business. And a beautiful shot of Linda in the early years. Yeah, just really fantastic. And again, we just scratched the surface. We could be on for hours if we really talked about all the different things that she's been a part of. And you guys knowing with my work in television and radio and film and all, I love when we have an opportunity to chat with guests like Linda and Patrick, because a lot of you have grown up seeing them perform in so many iconic roles. Really spectacular. You got a chance also, the bonus, to see Patrick join her. I knew Patrick was going to come on, but a phone call came in. She had her phone ring, and then his phone rang. So we had to duck out, to take that call. But he wanted to be a part of the show, and it really was extra special to have Linda and Patrick on our show. That was what we call double Lovity Gang. You guys know here on the Jim Master Show Live, we talk a lot about Lovity, inspiration, and all the rest. And Linda was funny with her hair. She was saying her hair was windswept or whatever. My hair, too, was getting a little, as you guys know, I have it pulled back. Sometimes we have it lower, we have it out and down. And we were trying to pull it back, and it started trying to do its own thing. So when we went to one of the videos, I just grabbed it and pulled it back and said, hold, stay there. We're not done yet. Stay there, hair. It's funny. When the hair's long, anything can happen. Thank you, Anne, for that. She did the super sticker. Thank you. That is so beautiful, Anne. We appreciate that very, very much. Super sticker that takes that comment and it rises to the top. Special color. That's in support of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, the Jim Master Show Live, where we've done over 500 plus episodes. Thank you so much, Anne. Love to you in Southern California. She did a super sticker, and it's so beautiful when you do that. It really helps our show. Beautiful hour with you. Thank you, Merlin in Ontario, Canada. Beautiful hour with you watching as well. Mary Bishop says, this has been great. Thanks, Linda and Jim. Our pleasure. And I would have shown her these comments, but she had to scoot off because, again, she's going to be doing rehearsals and all kinds of things. It's ponytail day for you. Yes. We're back tonight. I want to let you know this is a double Lovity day. Boy, are we going to have a riot tonight in a good way, because Judy Tenuta is on live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we are kicking off her birthday weekend. Yes, her birthday weekend. We're going to be celebrating Judy's birthday coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That is tonight. For those of you who are watching live, make sure you join us tonight. Judy's all excited. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a lot of fun as we exclusively on the Jim Master Show Live welcome Judy Tenuta. She was on our show when it was my birthday episode. Remember, we had surprise guests, celebrity friends, and more. She popped on for a bit. And then she contacted me and she said, I want to come back on your show. I love your show, Jim. And I'd like to come on my birthday weekend. So that's what happened. She came on her birthday. She's coming on her birthday weekend, which is this weekend. She's coming on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Also want to let you know, tomorrow afternoon, we have the World of Song's incredible singer, songwriter, Alison DeSalvo. She's going to perform live. She's going to be here with us. She's incredible. If you've never heard of the World of Song, they do so many wonderful things with children as well. She's epic. She's here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Then tomorrow night, we're going to be celebrating Marilyn Monroe with Cassandra Carroll. She is the Marilyn Monroe expert. She's also a brilliant actress herself. She's been in lots of movies and television and stage and more. But she completely takes on the persona of Marilyn Monroe, and she also celebrates Marilyn Monroe in her performances. And she does it so beautifully. And this is really exciting. Cassandra is going to be live and direct from Hollywood tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on the Jim Masters Show live. Also, Dan White's on the show, General Hospital's Elijah Crow. He's joining us. He's also been on Law and Order and Chicago Med, and you name the show, soap operas and film and television and lots more. Of course, the Anita Pointer and Ruth Pointer, the Pointer sisters, Anita and Ruth, were with us on the show. If you didn't see that episode, check that out as well. And over 500 more episodes. But yes, Judy Tenuta is with us tonight. She's legendary. She's been on the Tonight Show. She's been on every show. She's been on the Vagina Monologues, Menopause the Musical, just everything. And she is truly epic. Boy, the lighting is better now than it was in the beginning. See, you know what it is? Because it's daytime when we're doing the show and the sun is going to be setting. We turn the clocks back an hour here in the United States, except for Arizona. They don't. I don't know how that works. But we do that Saturday night into Sunday morning. So again, we thank the incomparable Linda Purl for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show live. What a treat. What a surprise. And again, we put this together really quickly. Because Birdland is this Sunday. So we connected and we said, gee, would you like to come on the show because you have, your Birdland performance? And she said, absolutely. And we were trying to figure out the time. We started at an unusual time. We started at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. We usually do, the top of the hour, but I wanted to make sure we could accommodate, her schedule. She's got a tight schedule and Patrick's busy. And we wanted to make sure we can get Patrick Duffy on it as well for a surprise for all of you. He was there. He was going to come on, and it was really a surprise. Mary Bishop says, wonderful show. See you in a few hours. Thank you, Mary. Yes, everybody have dinner and enjoy. And Judy Tenuta is going to be with us. And if you haven't seen some of the other episodes that we have here on our series, check them all out. A wonderful show. Thank you, Jim. Denise, thank you as well for being here. And Anne says, Judy is a gem. I agree. We'd have a lot of fun with Judy Tenuta tonight. And Tony, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. And I love his Bert from Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street YouTube profile photo. That is cool. The finale of for Matlock had the birthday party for Ben in the courtroom. Yes, that's right. Kathleen Walker is going to be here for show number 2, Double Lovity, with G. Tenuta tonight. It's going to be hilarious. Jim, thanks for this wonderful show with Linda today. Judy will be fantastic tonight. Yes, looking forward to that. We'll see you later on. Christine in North Carolina. Anne's going to be here as well. See you all later as well. And thanks for all the great comments you guys have been commenting throughout the show. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we would absolutely love that. The YouTube channel, of course, is the channel you're watching right now. That is Jim Masters TV. Just click that red button that says subscribe. Yeah. That way there you let us know that you're enjoying our series, enjoying all these shows, over 500 and almost 550 episodes of the Jim Masters Show live. And give this episode a like. Click like as well. You see that little like, that's a thumbnail that's there. Just click that thumbnail, and that way there lets us know you enjoyed this episode. And leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well. It's important if you just drop a comment for us, because then YouTube takes the episode and they blast it out even more to more people. So yeah, give this episode a like, leave a comment on the YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we would love if you did that. The channel is Jim Masters TV, the channel you're watching right now. Make sure you click the notification bell as well. So that way there, you never miss any of our episodes. You'll keep abreast of all the episodes we do. Enjoy your dinner and see you at 8 o'clock. Absolutely. You're the very best. Thanks, gang, for being with us as we had Linda Purl and a bonus double levity. Patrick Duffy stopped by the Jim Masters Show live as well. Really, really cool. You guys are the best. We're going to scoot off. Thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show live. Always a blessing. We got some music, got a chance to hear Linda perform. And that was cool as well. As we always say on the Jim Masters Show live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we're bringing back the lost art of conversation. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the levity. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Of course, mine is with loving family and friends, cycling, tennis, writing, music, food, all kinds of good stuff. But the ocean, we're right by the ocean here, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, got to drag me out of the ocean. And of course, my work in television, radio, stage, and film over the years, the very same as well. And of course, our YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV. We're dedicated to entertaining, informing, educating, inspiring, and we always have a good time together as well, gang, don't we? All right, that's a wrap for this episode with our very special guest, Linda Purl, and Patrick Duffy stopping by the Jim Masters Show live as well. Thanks for being with us, gang. We're back at 8 p.m. Eastern for those of you that are watching live with our special guest, Judy Tenuta, comedic legend, accordionist. She's amazing on the accordion, and she's just a comedy legend, truly a comedy legend. It's going to be a riot. We're going to kick off her birthday together here on the show with all of you tonight. All right. For those of you who are not watching this live, you're watching this later on the archives, we thank you for being here as well. And stay right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Another great episode of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series comes right up. And like 500 plus more episodes for you right here. Thanks for being with us. Linda loves our theme music on our show open. I'm happy to hear that. I know you guys do as well. So here's our theme music as we close. And thanks for being with us. Check out all the other episodes right here on our YouTube channel of the Jim Masters Show Live. Catch you guys later. Take care. Great show today. And glad you guys were here with us. We always love when you're here. Bye for now. See you later on. Cheers.